Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel, here with the NetGalley audio vlog. So I have 23 titles technically on audio format on NetGalley. As long as I request no more, that's where we're sitting at. If I read all of those and we don't count the double ups, I would be at about 80% on my ratio, or 81. I think it'd be 81. I think it rounds up. So if I read every single audiobook I have on NetGalley in the next few months, I would hit basically my rough goal, right? I'd love to hit 85. I don't know if I can hit 85 this year, but I know that I can, one, get my unreads under 100, and two, clear out every single audiobook I have pending on NetGalley, which is a lot. I have 20 some. I have some from 2021 that I forgot I had. This is a double-edged sword of the original NetGalley player app was terrible. Literally terrible. But let me take you through the list of everything I have to read, from things coming out the soonest to the oldest of me starting this video. I don't know how long this is going to take, so there's that. But first of all, we have Sea of Charms, Evening the Score, Echoes of Insurrection, All Hail Chaos, Harley, Smoke Signals, West of Wicked, Big Girl Blitz, Silver and Blood, which I've started and I made progress on. I'm not sure how far I am, but Untethering Dark, Female Fantasy, Thirsty, Threaded Lies, Dealing with the Desperate Demons, Spellcaster, Left Up Forever, My Big Fat Fake Marriage, Twisted Night, When Grumpy Met Sunshine, The Chosen and the Beautiful, Savor It, and How to Help a Hungry Werewolf. That is every single unread audiobook on my NetGalley right now. So I'm going to vary this by doing a spinner wheel and also picking books sometimes. I do think I'm going to pick my first read, because I think there's one that I kind of want to read the most right now, and I think we'll start there. There's kind of two that I'm very interested in. And then whenever I'm indecisive, we will spin the wheel and go from there. But that wheel will have 22 titles, give or take, depending on when I start it, because one of these books is a sequel. So I cannot read the sequel until I read the first book and or DNF the first book. We'll see. This is definitely going to have some DNFs in it. I don't see a world in which I don't DNF some of these. But yeah, I was like looking at it and I was like, oh, I can basically hit my goal if I just do all the audios I have on NetGalley. And then again, I have duplicates of a lot of these as ebooks too. So it's kind of a win-win for me at the end of the day if I clear these, because I really should be well under 100. Like, I could possibly be at like 90 unread titles, and that would be fantastic, honestly. I would really love to get to under 100 by the end of 2026, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, I hope you're excited to go on this journey with me. As always, everything will be timestamped down below, and let's get going. Let's get reading. Okay, I have to update you because I've accidentally read about half of Evening the Score, which is my first pick for this NetGalley vlog for reasons. So I am, hold on, let me tell you exactly where I'm at actually. Oh God, oops. I'm 57% into this book. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings currently. So first things first. I liked Lexi LaFleur Brown's first book. Okay, I thought it was fun. It was quirky. It was just like a different change of pace. And I also feel like her hockey knowledge really shines through in these, which is fun. Like, that is fun to read someone writing in a sport that they really know and understand, in my opinion. You can't beat it. But Evening the Score, our heroine is out for revenge on this hero that it is so misdirected at. She hates his dad, and she thinks he is just like his dad. And it's dual POV. So we're getting this like sweet cinnamon roll heroes POV, and he's just like, she's so pretty. I really like her. And she is a menace. She, in the beginning of the book, this is not a spoiler because this is very early on, he hits her with his Maserati on accident. Like, she's fine. This is why it's funny. She's fine. But he hits her with the Maserati, and because of that, he ends up giving her like a ride home or whatever, and she's like, this Toyota's really nice, and he's like, it's a Maserati, and she's like, yeah, Toyota makes something Toyota used to make a car like this. It's like, you know, same thing. And he's just like, it's a Maserati. So that was hilarious. Her also like attempt to throw him off his game for hockey ended up making him play better. And that was really funny. But she is the mascot. He does not know she's the mascot. He thinks she works at like the donut place in the arena or something. And there's just like he really likes her. And she like does not know what to do with herself, because she also is liking him, but feels like he should be her enemy number one. And he's not. And that part is really hard in the dual POV. The complaints I'm having so far at 57% is that the plot It's very disjointed. It sometimes feels like we are in a scene doing a thing, and then we jump very like suddenly to a new scene and a thing in the chapter in a way that is like not set up in the prior chapter or anything. Like, it's really, really disjointed. I like the characters. I don't think the writing's bad by any means, but I do think we're like suffering in a weird way because of the dual POV, and because of the fact that that dual POV is not... Like, it's showing us too much of how sweet and caring this guy is and how much he is not like his shithead father. Which just, that's a hard read, you know? Like, that's a hard read. I'm gonna finish it today because I have less than 4 hours left. So I'll be back in a little bit with an update. But right now, I think it's gonna be a 3. There are things about it I really, really like. And there are things about it that just are not working. And like I said, that disjointedness is not working. Steph and I actually, Steph over at Novelty Corner, my friend and I have been talking about this book. She was like, have you read it yet? And I was like, no, not yet. And she's like, okay, tell me when you are, or like when you have, like, I want to talk about it with you. And I was like, okay, cool, on it. So here I am. That's part of why this got bumped to the front of the list. But yeah, so I'm reading that and I'm like, okay, interesting. But it's just something is off and I don't know what it is. And it's not in a way where like, I'm never going to read this author again. It's just this book, something is funky, with the plotting. So there's that. Hello. You're getting me in great lighting. And from the kitchen because I need to go upstairs in a minute. But I need to update you because I finished Evening the Score last night. That book, not as good as I wanted it to be. First things first. Not as good as I wanted it to be at the end of the day. And that's okay. It is what it is. But hey, I finished an arc early. Not that it doesn't matter by the time you see this. I'm giving it about a 3. I think the story was wildly disjointed because it's dual POV and we are getting this sweet hero Brody's POV and we are getting our heroine. What was her name? Oh my god, how do I remember his name and I don't remember her? I remember his because they made jokes about his name all the time, like punned it up. Olivia. So she is like set out on this revenge against him and we keep getting his POV and you just feel bad the whole time. And I also will say it felt like some chapters jumped from being pretty like, okay, yeah, we're following the story and then suddenly like we've jumped a lot of time with not a lot of like preamble to it. I don't know if that makes sense. It really kind of felt just very, very disjointed and like you were almost reading like 2 different books with a romance shoved into it. But then like the last 10% I thought was fantastic. There's a reveal that she's the mascot, you know that in the summary, and there's some like great moments to get them back together, and I just really liked a lot of that. I really liked Brody's story. Olivia's story was fine, and I thought some of the grief stuff was really great. She goes to see her grandma on the reservation who is like, no, but everybody grieves differently, and that part I thought was just kind of like, you're old enough to not be surprised that everyone grieves differently, and we all do. And like, as somebody who's recently lost their dad, like, this book deals in that heavily, but it's been a while. It's been a minute since she lost her dad. She should have realized by now that everyone grieves differently. And that entire like conversation was weird for me because I just felt like she was old enough to know this. And like, obviously, like, statistically speaking, most people do not lose a parent until they're like in their 40s to 50s. So I understand that, like, obviously as someone who's lost their parent in their 30s now, it's very different. It's not, you know, you can't plan for that, right? But like her inability to like process that other people grieve differently, it was weird. And her inability to realize that like what she was doing would not make her dad proud necessarily or happy was interesting. But yeah, so I really liked the last 10% of the book, but I really think a lot of it struggled and it wasn't the best. I'm giving it a 3. I'm sad because I quite enjoyed her first book, and this isn't my last Lexi LaFleur Brown book that I'll read, but I definitely will be curious to see what I think of the next book from her because I don't know if it's going to work for me or not. But yeah, it was an interesting read. I think the setup and the premise was great, but I think the execution just lacked in like some tightening up of the structure of the story itself. So that's where we're at right now. I don't know what I'm reading next, but I'll let you know when I decide. I have to update y'all. Okay, so I started Savor It, which is one of my archived titles for this video. And I'm mad at myself because I waited to start until my mom got here, and I don't have time to listen to it as much as I want to. So I'm really, really hoping to finish it up here, but I'm 30% in right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I like the audiobook narration. I think it's really good. I think it's fun. I think it's got some good pep to it. I'm engaged by the audiobook narration, and I am having a good time. So I'm happy about that. I am definitely probably reading Left of Forever like pretty quickly after, just because the hardest reading challenge stuff, but I'm truly like, I'm intrigued. I like our hero being the caretaker for his niece, and our heroine being a bit of a like awkward person, but like in a way that was relatable and doesn't feel super manic pixie dream girly. It more is like, she said she's raised by her older brothers, and like I feel that there. Like if my older brother raised me, I would also be weird like she is, because he kind of did. My older brother's a lot older than me. So I was like, yeah, this all tracks. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And I also enjoyed how much our heroine has like reached out to the niece who has lost her parents and attempted in ways to kind of be there for her without like being too in her face. So yeah, I'm having a blast. I'm having an actual blast. So I'll be back with another update soon. Finished Savor It. I really liked it. I am excited to read Left of Forever and Lost and Found. Like very excited. So I can't wait to get to those. I really do understand Tara DeWitt's popularity now, because these books are really enjoyable. And it's things I don't always love. Like they're pretty slow burn, I would say. And they also feature the two of them like knowing they're going to part ways at the end, but then coming back together, obviously, because it's a romance. And the ways in which that worked out was really, really fun and enjoyable. And I'm really excited for the Wren's book, which is book 2. Because I really liked Wren in this book as well. And I felt like Sage worked, even though she was kind of manic pixie dream girl for me, more than I expected her to. I was definitely nervous that I wouldn't enjoy her as I was initially reading it, because I was like, she feels very, very, very manic pixie. And that's just not always my jam. But yeah, I freaking loved it. So another audiobook down. That's 2. That's 1 or 2. I don't know where we're at. Anyways, it's another one down. Either way, for the NetGalley reading vlog. And I got a new one. So we added another one in the time of this happening, but I'll be back when I start my next one. Savor It was a 5-star read for me, so do keep that in mind. And I will be reading Left of Forever in the hardest reading challenge vlog. So I have to update you on this NetGalley check-in, because I've read things for other vlogs that are not here. So this is me updating you that I did finish Pot Shot and Left of Forever in the Herkyad 2.0 ending vlog. I really liked both of them. Potshot was a solid 4.5 for me, maybe a 5. I'm still debating it. Left of Forever is a 6-star favorite. I liked it even more than Savor It. But I do love and have a weakness for A Marriage in Trouble. So there's that. But yeah, I loved both of these. If you want full thoughts, those are in the Herkyad vlog. They have been submitted for reviews. I also have gotten more books since this started on audio. Oh, I have a problem. It's fine. Anyways, I've done that a little bit here. So one big thing to tell you is that I did get Death Meets Cute on audio. So that has been added to the list. Right now, I have my NetGalley open. We have 21 books left to read, and I would like to be done in like 3 weeks. So I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to try. And if I'm not done with like 2 of them, I think I can live with that. But the goal is going to be having majority of these read in the next 2-3 weeks. So we'll see how that goes. I do need to update you though on the one I just finished that I started last night in bed. And then I realized I didn't update you this morning. And that is Harley by Belle Harper. Is that the author? Yeah. This is an Omegaverse Why Choose situation. It's fine. I'm giving it like a solid 3. It is not a bad book. It is one that I would probably listen to the audios via Hoopla or my library. I think it lacked slightly in world building, which I didn't love, and I did find that to be a little bit of a struggle. It is what it is, right? And that's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world by any means. Or with the world building, because it just didn't have any, really. Like, it attempted to have world building that, like, just did not pay off in any capacity. There's that. With Harley, I think it was an okay read. Again, I really think it lacked heavily in the world building front, which was fine, but also annoying, because I felt like we were getting, like, hints about the world and things happening. Like, there's, like, an uprising happening of people who are betas and stuff and don't agree with the current system. Our heroine is, like, kidnapped. again, I would have liked a smidge more world building for the plot that we had. We did have a mute hero, so that was fascinating, interesting change of pace in an Omegaverse especially. I don't feel like we get that a lot. But yeah, it was like fine. Like it was aggressively just okay, like a 3-star. This is just okay. It's not a bad book. It's not a fantastic book. I at least had fun with it, and it kind of gave me a palate cleanser in between some other titles, which is what I was looking for when I picked it up. So I'm glad to have picked it up and finished it, and also submitted the review on it at this point. So there's that. This review leaves me at 21 audiobooks left, so I feel pretty good about that. We're getting there. Like, so, one, it's hot as shit out, so ignore my hair. She is what she is, because we are not washing and drying our hair right now. A heat advisory out there. But I need to update you because I finished a book for this NetGalley project that I was already 20% into, and then I read 80% of it yesterday, and realized this morning I never gave y'all an update on any of it. Here we are. So that book is Silver and Blood by Jessie Malik. I really enjoyed this romantasy. It's like lightly Beauty and the Beast coded. Lightly, in my opinion. It is 2 bi main characters. They both talk about dating, at least bi or in some way queer, because they both dated broadly across the spectrum, it seems. So that was fun. Basically, I have been diamond painting this haunted house kit I got. Here's the box, this. And I just like put the audiobook on and didn't really stop listening until 1 a.m. last night when I finished the book. Safe to say I was hooked. But yeah, this was a really good romantasy. I really enjoyed it. The sequel comes out December 1st this year, so I'm actually kind of glad I waited. This one came out in early 2026, so I kind of like that we're getting a little duology that wraps up in the same year. That's always nice. But yeah, I really had a lot of fun. I really liked our main characters. Rayella and Garrick are fun. Garrick is the Fae Prince of the Stone Gate, and he's been trapped on the other side of the gate with his guard. I can't remember his guard's name. Grim is him as a wolf. Anyways, they've been trapped on the human side of the gate. She was sent in to defeat the monsters in the woods and protect her village. Turns out, of course, she has secret magic powers, and he's helping train her with those magic powers. I did like that we had tension and build, but we also had like good payoff for that tension and build up, like routinely in the book, versus kind of like having to wait until that 75 to 80% mark. Like, no, we kept having really good payoff. I will say some people are not going to like how headstrong our heroine is in this. She does not want to listen to Garrick and his advice sometimes, or what he wants her to do. She's going to do what she thinks she should do, which, like, fair. And with that, again, I think that's going to annoy some people. But for me, it worked. I also felt like Garrick was similar. Like, he was going to do what he was going to do. And he kind of struggled to learn how to prioritize, like, telling her why versus just forcing an issue. Which I thought was actually, like, really relatable, honestly. Millie is chugging water. And then Millie's done drinking. I can't complain. It's so hot out. Like, I'm glad she's drinking her water. But yeah, so basically, I felt like it was semi-realistic of the two of them trying to figure out how they could navigate, like, actually communicating well with someone who didn't already know them. And, you know, perhaps would be a little confused. But yeah, I really liked it. We end on a bit of a cliffhanger, but it's, like, not a bad cliffhanger. We kind of resolved that book one's plot for the most part. And the cliffhanger hinges on some reveals around our heroine's family origins. So yeah, it hinges on that. So again, not bad at all. And I'm really happy to say that when I review this, that gives me 2 reviews because I got the ebook arc also. I will be requesting book 2 as an e-arc probably here at some point. I want to get a few more arcs under my belt before that because I do think I need to get my ratio back up a little bit. But yeah, that's another review done. I really like this. I'm giving it a solid like 4.5, 4 stars. I'm excited for the next book, like very, very excited. Also, I listened to the audiobook, obviously, the audiobook video. Narration-wise, I thought it was really well done. I really enjoyed it. I thought it added to the story. It helped me kind of be immersed in the story, so that was really nice. But okay, I have to update you on Smoke Signals because I did dive into this one because it's short, and I'm like 30% in, and I'm already going to tell you that this book is a 3-star read. The narrator, this narration, it sounds like they're, one of my members said, speaking in capital letters, and I was like, yes. I don't like the narrator. In fact, I'm very tempted to DNF the book because I don't like the narrator. And it's just so short that I'm like, I should just finish it because I don't have that long left, right? Like, you know, it is a couple hour audiobook. It is a novella. So I feel like I'm just going to finish it, even though it's a 3-star. But yeah, the way they're speaking, capital letters, like every word. And there's like a pitch tone thing I'm just not vibing with. So far it's fine. Like, it's okay plot wise. I don't know that I love the plot setup either. And that's the other problem. Like, she has lit fire to her apartment, and then he shows up and he's like, wow, look at her. And then they meet again. Now they're on their first date and cooking together because she apparently cannot cook. And I understand there are people who cannot cook, but I'm just really, 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 really struggling with some of this. So yeah, I will keep reading it and I'll come back with a final, like, on it once I've made some more progress, and I'll talk to y'all soon. I finished a book last night. Hopefully the fan's not too loud. It's kind of cold this morning here, but I finished Smoke Signals and it's a 3. It's a 3. I'm not sure that I would recommend it necessarily. Like, it's a 3 because, like, I don't know that it's like bad enough to warrant like a 2, but I think some people would enjoy it. I did not like the euphemisms used during sex at all. I did not like the narrator, so the audiobook did not help. So that's why I say 3, because I don't know if the story would have been better if I read it. But it also had, like, I don't know, something about it was very juvenile in a way that, like, I don't expect out of my adult romances. I felt like our main characters just, like, I don't know, they were weird. It was weird. This is a weird book. I saw one of my mutuals DNF'd it, and I was like, yeah, I should have joined you on that front. But I didn't, and I made the mistake of finishing the book, and I shouldn't have. And I think I would try something else by this author to see if I like it more, but I also think the firefighter setup felt like it lacked, like, research. I think it lacked research almost, the firefighter setup. Because some of it was also just weird. I didn't love it. So I'm going to say that it's done. It's reviewed. It's another one out of the list. I did get another one yesterday. I got another approval. But this vlog is going to end when I have like 4 or 5 left, because I have a couple that are like sequels in series I don't think I'll read during this vlog because it doesn't make sense to. But I still will read them before the end of the year. But yeah, I think Smoke Signals was okay. Like, it was... Nothing was, like, glaringly the worst to make it, like, the worst thing I've ever read. But it just, like, did not, like, in every facet did not work for me. And that's hard. That makes it, like, almost a harder review, I think, at times. Because, like, just nothing about it worked for me. So, yeah, that's where we're at. I don't know what I'll read next, but I'll let you know when I start it soon. Guess who DNF'd another book? This girl DNF'd another book. So I DNF'd The Chosen and the Beautiful. I don't think this is a bad book by any means. I do not think I am the reader for this book right now, because I did like the other book I read by Nevo. I really enjoyed The Empress of Salt and Fortune. But I just don't know that I care enough right now about a Great Gatsby inspired situation. I think the narrator was fantastic. But I just was like really not wanting, I was really, really not wanting to pick this book up. So I didn't. And I made it about 30% and was like, you know what? Let's not. So another one down, one step closer to raising my percentage. And I'm excited to see what I pick up next. Listen, you're getting a view you don't normally get. We're in the bathroom. I need to clean my makeup brushes, and I need to talk to you about When Grumpy Met Sunshine, because I finished it the other day and I never came back. And I realized this, because I was like, there's something I was supposed to film. I kept thinking about it, and then I was like, oh my god, you never came back to film When Grumpy Met Sunshine. So, I'm back. So I finished the book the other day, and I gave it a 3. I think it was fine. I think I did have some struggles with it. I didn't hate it by any means. I didn't think it was like the worst thing I've ever read. It was just a 3. It was okay. I don't think it'll stick with me very long. I do think I read it at the perfect time since I waited till Ted Lasso came back, because that hero is 100% basically Roy Kent. I have my makeup brushes. So I've got my no rinse makeup cleaner, and we're gonna do that while we chat. So basically, I would say one of the big things in my brain reading this is I just kept feeling like, at the beginning at least, he was like borderline a caricature of a grumpy character. And I don't always love that. Like, flat out, I just don't always love that. And that's okay. Like, not everybody's gonna love everything, right? For me, at least, I found it semi-grating at times how grumpy he was. But very quickly, I felt like that, like, facade kind of fell with him some. And we got to see the real him, which also happens with Roy and Ted Lasso. But I also didn't love our ending situation where he just, like, wrote the book, basically, instead of her writing the book to, like, do a thing he liked. Because I don't see why they wouldn't have let him write the book, you know? If he had asked, I feel like they would have let him do it. So there's that too. I just felt like that was interesting. But I did like his little, like, confession to her in the book. I thought that was really sweet. That was really cute. Enjoyable time. And I did like Mabel. I think that was her name, Mabel, our main character. I thought she was very fun for a main character. Like I said, I didn't hate the writing, but I do not disagree with some of the reviews that talk about him feeling like such a caricature of a grumpy character. I don't know. It was a lot. It's also the author's first traditionally published book after a lot of indie books, which I think is really cool. But yeah, I left it feeling fine. Like, it was just perfectly okay. I'm glad it's done. I will be reading more from Charlotte this time because I have a lot of her arcs. I don't know how many I'll get through in this vlog because I am going to cut myself off on this vlog eventually, and we're going to just do a part 2 because I am tired of pressure. So, or something like that. We'll see how far I get this week. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm going to move on to the next one, which I'm going to do The Death Meet Cute by Jay Penner, which is a cozy fantasy. I figure it's a total pivot from what I'm currently reading, so that's not a bad thing. And yeah, I feel like that's something just totally different than what I just finished. So I'm going to pick that up, and I will be back to talk to you about it very, very soon. I DNF'd Death Meets Cute. I'm fixing my bun. I'm sorry. So, did DNF Death Meets Cute because, honestly, I was really bored. And then by the time I got, like, kind of interested, we were 35% in, and I said, I don't care anymore. This has taken too long. I no longer care. So, DNF'd it. It is a cozy fantasy. I think it'll work for a lot of people. It was on audio, obviously. This is an audiobook vlog. But it just didn't work for me. I don't know, y'all. It just really did not work for me at all. So, I don't know what to tell you. I hate it. But it is what it is. So, yeah, this did not work for me. I think maybe when it's not hot out, I might have liked it more, but I don't know. Cozy's and I are like hit and miss, really. But she really wants to be evil, and doesn't seem to actually want to be evil, I feel like, if that makes sense. Because I feel like she's just trying to be different from her sisters. But anyways, it turns out their powers are failing, and a lot of the magic she just used to resurrect this orc guy means he's gonna die in a few days, possibly, and not be able to be her bodyguard like she wants. But yeah, I don't know. Something about the pacing for a book that was that short and I was bored and didn't want to finish it this morning was a surefire sign that it was time for me to DNF. So I DNF'd it. I said goodbye. I've already submitted the review. Okay, so I'm 44% into West of Wicked right now. This has had enough, like, wink wink nod nods at Wizard of Oz, like, classic movies. Listen, I'll also tell you this. I'm not a Wicked person. It's okay. I've seen it all. I've seen it on Broadway. It's good. I like Wicked. I don't think it's bad, but I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like the original Wizard of Oz a lot. A whole freaking lot. So, for me, this is hitting those spots that I'm wanting from that original movie. I've never read the original story, but it's hitting those spots. I think that is the most interesting so far, for me at least, on this. We've had like cute little fun nods, like her putting on the shoes and being like, I'm leaving my socks on, things like that, like just fun little bits. We have made it to Oz, it seems. So I'm curious to see what happens next. And we've met the Scarecrow. The Tin Man is a villain that is like hunting her, that works with the Wicked Witch, it seems. So I'm also curious to see how that unfolds. So yeah, listen, it's got enough that I'm engaged. So I'm going to keep listening and hopefully finish it up here pretty quickly. I will be back to talk to you about it as soon as I have more thoughts. I know at 44% in, you think I'd have a lot more, but it's a pretty slow, I would say it's kind of a slow story, a slow build right now overall, which is not a bad thing. So there's that. Anyways, I'm going to go finish packing up some stuff and I'll be back to talk to you soon. Okay. Hi. So I finished West of Wicked. I just rebooted my movie. It's just a comfort movie week. We've just now I'm watching Beauty and the Beast. I watched Bucky this week. It's a whole thing. Anyways. Okay. So I finished West of Wicked, which I was telling you about a minute ago. And then I had to go because my phone rang. And then it was May. Then Grumps called. And May's almost home. So I'm not going to call her back. But Grumps is going to call me back. Anyways, checking on the mill girl. So, also, do appreciate our curtain solution, Sebastian Stan blanket. It's perfect. Anyways, I have to talk to you about West of Wicked, which I have finished. I'm giving it a 4, and I would like to read the sequel. I'm curious enough that I want to know what happens. I also want to just see how it wraps up. I thought this was an interesting twist on The Wizard of Oz, and I liked that about it a lot. Like, it surprised me. It was better than I expected it to be. I also think it delivered really well on the premise and left me really intrigued for book 2. We end on a little bit of a cliffhanger on book 2 about them trying to find Dorothy. So I rated it, I reviewed it, it's done, and I liked it. So I'm going to be watching for the book 2 audiobook to drop. I started listening to My Big Fat Fake Marriage this morning, and I'm almost done. I'm literally editing the video. I'm almost done, so we're adding it in now, because I will at some point do an outro a little bit later today. But anyways, I have to tell you that I really like this one. I like this one a lot more than I liked When Grumpy Met Sunshine. I didn't hate When Grumpy Met Sunshine, but this one, I don't know the last time I've read a hero this soft, this gentle giant level. And I'm obsessed. He is an absolutely perfect mixture of Steve Rogers and Ted Lasso. It's everything. They are so hot for each other and trying to navigate that as well, because he is not her typical type of guy and he doesn't really know how to deal with that. And he like has a lot of expectations and feelings about not being her type. But the reality is he's actually her type and she does not know how to handle that. Like, they both are each other's type and like each other in this fake marriage scenario. They both had wet dreams about the other one, and now she's getting him off in the hot tub, and I gotta go finish this, but I will be back to tell you about the end of it. But yeah, I'm obsessed. I really, really love this fake dating scenario in which she's pretending to be his wife. It's been fantastic. Okay, I have a quick update for you on My Big Fat Fake Happy Marriage. I loved this book. I gave it a solid 4. I think it is a fantastic Ted Lasso, Steve Rogers inspired gentle giant of a hero. I liked our heroine Hazel. I felt like there was a lot of self-discovery and reflection for both of them in this book, and I believed them to end together and be happy. And that is a key point for me. I also really liked our appearance from the couple in book 1 in this. I actually felt like that was really fun and silly. Our Roy-like hero, our Alfie, I think was his name in book 1. He was like ready to beat up on our hero Beck, and I liked that. That was really fun. He was ready to defend his wife's friend, or his partner's friend, and I always love those moments. I think they're really fun and sweet. So I had a good time with this. This is a solid 4 for me. I'm very, very happy I read it. I'm excited to try some of the other Charlotte Steins I have lingering on this NetGalley TBR check-in. But with this, I'll be back here to talk to you soon with my final numbers and all that info, because I'm wrapping this up early and we'll talk about it in a minute. So I'll see you for the outro in a few with something on my face. It's time to wrap this up. I told you I'd be back. I told you I'd be back with makeup on. I'm here. Anyways, There's a dog barking outside and I'm sorry. I've muted as much noise as I can. I'm not in my normal filming location, obviously, so we're gonna do the best we can. So one thing I have to tell you before we move into like wrapping this up is I did DNF a series, which is by Kay Bromberg. It is the Twisted Lies, Twisted Night series. I don't remember what one's book 1 and book 2. I didn't film a clip, apparently. I noticed as I was editing and I just ended up DNFing these. I was not feeling them. They are a like twisted contemporary dark romance situation. I've read other Kay Brombergs that I enjoyed back in the day and I thought we'd give them a try. I just didn't make it very far. I didn't love the narration. So there's that. This graphic shows you everything I read during this video, which I think is really exciting. I am 1 away from 78% on my feedback ratio again, and I'm in the middle of an ebook arc right now, which means I'm basically at 78%. So currently at 77, but I will be at 78% within the next like 2 days of this video going up. So 14 titles were read. I did start the project with like 22 titles on my NetGalley, and I think I had 23 or 4 at one point, due to some approvals that came in while filming this. So yeah, I feel really good right now. I think this was a great way for me to tackle a large portion of my NetGalley. Again, we're not done. I will tell you every single book I have left. And the question is, do I just do a part 2, which is what I'm kind of thinking, is I'm just gonna do a part 2 with the last 14 books that I have, because we're gonna talk about what's pending as well. Or I do a part 2 where I at least get through most of 2025 and 2026. And like leave anything like late 2026, which, listen, it's almost September. How late are we gonna leave it for, right? But if I do that, that would probably be a December vlog that would come out where I have read through the rest of my NetGalley for 2026. But the other thought I had was I could do a video where we mix audio and ebooks to start clearing my oldest titles. I don't know, thoughts and opinions, let me know down below on what your ideas for maybe how you think I should tackle the rest of these. I do wanna end the year under 100. That would require me to read 23 titles at least before the end of the year. And I think, again, I'm already in the middle of one. I think I could do it, but yeah, I'm debating how and what I want to do, whether, again, it's a spinner wheel situation, a like reading the oldest titles and like newest, like going back and forth maybe. You're gonna have a part 2 of some capacity where we tackle NetGalley before the end of the year though. I just had to. My brain needed to close this vlog out. I couldn't remember it enough. The ADHD had kicked in and it was like, this project's been going on too long and I can't finish it. So this is where we're at. Now, as we wrap this up, I obviously am gonna leave you with the list of all the audiobooks I have left, which maybe that's how we do it. Maybe you guys tell me what ones you're most excited for me to read. So yeah, let's go through the order of unread audios I have left in the 120 some titles I have on NetGalley. So we're gonna start September 2025. We have Spellcaster, that came out. I'm just gonna put the graphic up with everything. Then we have How to Help a Hungry Werewolf, which is not in my total because it got archived. That's a whole thing. I can still read it and review it though. Dealing with a Desperate Demon, which I just kind of lumped those two together because they're both in a series. Female Fantasy, Thirsty, Untethering Dark is the beginning of our 2026 releases, and everything after this is a 2026 release, which I think is incredible, okay? I think that is really good that most of this is 2026. So Untethering Dark, Big Girl Blitz, All Hail Chaos, a sequel, Echoes of Insurrection, and also a sequel in a series, Shattered Gods, the finale to the Dark Olympus series, which I'm going to do soon. Sea of Charms, another interconnected series, we'll call it, the Sarah Beth Durst, Lost and Found, the finale to Sprunes, the Iron Hex, Devour Me, which I just got today as of filming. It just went up like yesterday on NetGalley. I requested it, they approved me. I got it on Libro FM, and I have the ebook arc. So I was like, why not double up and get 2 credit return, like get 2 on NetGalley to like up my ratio. A Good Puck, which I just got yesterday. This is a sapphic novella. It's like 130 some pages. So I'm really, I need to just knock it out. Sapphic women's hockey. When I saw the cover, I had to request it. Like I just had to. And then the Tarot Trials, which comes out in October. So everything I have is out by October. So like I could maybe even be done in November. I don't know yet. I really don't know. I have a crazy months coming up, so I'm really just not sure. And then the one pending audiobook I have right now is Once in a Lifetime, because I'm really intrigued about this book and I would like to read it, but if I don't get it, it's also like not the end of the world. So yeah, that's kind of where we're standing. 15 unread audios, 16 unread audios now, because that archived one I keep forgetting about. I feel pretty good about my progress in this video with how many I read. Again, it's not completed like I wanted it to be, but also I just need to like not feel the pressure to read only NetGalley books right now, if that makes sense. Like that's kind of where I'm at mentally. So maybe this will let me also, instead of only doing audiobooks, maybe I'll actually pick up some of my e-arcs from NetGalley because that's a bigger pain point. But if I can get the audios cleared, it's gonna help a lot. So yeah, that's where we're at. Let me know if you're thinking about picking up any of these. If you think there are any that I should prioritize that I have left that you're really interested in, you can let me know that down below. So if you don't want to do any of that, you can leave me a headphone emoji down there. As always, there will be links to everything I talked about here, links to be my friend anywhere on the internet that I am, and I will talk to y'all in just a few days in my next video. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we waited.